Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
All right, have a good one.
You too, thank you. Well, we're finally in. Although there's not much direction as to where you have to go, it's fun just to explore, to see the sights. Fort. We're gonna go to the fort. There's the fort. I wish I could have got that. Sorry. Parking is a little awkward. There's not a lot of it. You'd think there'd be more, but that's okay. We're still here. That actually is the moat around Fort Zachary. We're going to get over there. Don't worry about a thing. Well, it's a bit of a walk, but who said walking was bad? Now running, I think it's overrated, but walking, yeah, good thing. With a little help from the park ranger, we're able to find a path. As you can see, the moat is completely surrounding Fort Zachary. It's been here for a long time. You can see where the windows have been bricked in. At one time there were cannons sticking out there to guard this fort. I did a little studying. My dad is a history buff, so hopefully I'll make him proud on this one. Well, I see a sign. Maybe we can go over here and read this. Fort Zachary Taylor was constructed in 1845 as part of the third-tier system of defense, which called for the establishment of masonry fortresses constructed along America's coastlines to prevent sea attacks upon the United States. This fort was an important defense structure for the United States because of its command over the waters of the Straits of Florida and the Gulf of Mexico. When completed, the fort was 3 stories tall, held 140 cannons, and was home to almost 450 soldiers. Fort Taylor remained under federal control during the Civil War and was the headquarters for the U.S. Navy East Gulf Coast blockading squadron. The current form of the fort is largely the result of alterations made in 1898, including removal of 2 upper tiers, filing casemates with sand and obsolete ordnance, and construction of Australia. Modern rifled artillery replacements, battery Adair and battery Australias. Fort Taylor continued to defend the United States during the Spanish-American War, World War I, and World War II. The fort service to the nation ended in 1947. Fort Taylor is listed on the National Registry of Historic Places in the National Historic Landmark. This is actually a picture of Fort Taylor when it was new. Very impressive. 3 stories. All the guns America needed.
There's a brochure right over there on the post that's for self-guiding. There's a couple of reasons for it. In the modern period, Texas protecting the concrete was all well, they used beach standards. Okay. Salt is all about it. Crumbles, so okay. See with it in. And we're using a type of concrete resin.
Guy behind me does the carpentry work for here. He's offered to open up the museum and let me see what actually was found. They said there's a lot still buried here, but there's a lot that's in storage. They're going to be opening up a wing here. Let me see if I can get a picture of it. He's doing all the woodworking on the windows. This will be the museum when he's finished with it. Anyhow, let's take a look in here. Can you imagine one of those being hurled at you out of one of those? Those are the cannons that I showed you a little while ago. We'll take a better look at them. I know it's hard to read everything. This basically says in 1819, ongoing piracy in the Caribbean promoted President James Monroe to organize the West Indies Squadron, an anti-pirate fleet. These are actual bricks, salt and pepper granite, the terracottas they found, core samples, hopefully we'll get a better view here in just a little bit of some of the museum pieces. Now for a bit of my own history. This is the Sally Port. This was the only way in. guess we ought to show you the mess hall. A little bit of a hot day, but history's worth it. You always think about holding a shutter closed. How about holding a shutter open? The building is in decay. They're presently trying to renovate it for public access. With more help and funding, I've been told in the next 5 years this will be open for public access. Now this is just impressive. Can you imagine one of these bad boys hurling a cannon at you? It gets cooler as you come inside the building. Everything from 30-pound to 300-pounders would be launched out of this facility. Can you imagine the sound that this thing makes? My Lord. There was definitely no playing around. We were here to stay. I wish I had a better camera. We could get a lot better view. If you can see on the floor, these right here were the tracks where the cannons were able to swing to the left and right. Can you imagine swinging that around, letting one go? Makes me proud to be an American. Seeing our history, what we had to do to defend ourselves against opposing forces. It makes today a day of quiet thought. Remembering those who gave their lives for my freedom. Each of these were where the cannons would be, swinging around to overlap the aim of the other cannon. Yeah, we were here to stay. Crazy. As you can see, we were not playing around. We were here to guard, establish, and bring freedom. I'm not always a patriotic man. Matter of fact, well, if you know me, you know me. But as I walk around here, I get real patriotic about America. I love America. And apparently, America has loved me a lot longer. I would like to say on this Memorial Day, thank you to all United States military who served, was wounded, or killed in the line of duty. Thank you. Kind of choked up right now. My family was military. My extended family was military. And to think somebody shooting at them really pisses me off. But then I see this. Average Civil War cannon could reach 3 miles. At the time, they had the best defense there was. Long range. And also a moat filled with alligators and sharks. Okay, probably not alligators and sharks, but I woulda. Let's go see if we can find the curator. I'm real interested now. I'm willing to say it's cut and dried. We were here. We were patriotic duty. I'd like to leave y'all with this last thought. America, where'd we go? What do we settle for? I think we ought to remember why we're here. The flag behind me really does mean something. I tried locating the curator. He's been called off. There's been some, I guess some people are here from the Historical Society. They needed him a little more than I did. You can bet I'll be back. We'll get more on this. Well, thank y'all so much for joining me at Fort Zachary Taylor. Hopefully I can get more of this type of video for my journey to the sea on youtube.com. This is Kevin saying bring back the peace sign. Hang loose while you're doing it.